Auditing your banking relationships. I won't save this live. I just wanted to hop on real quick to talk about this, and I'll double back uh, and talk about this a little bit more in detail. But this came up because I'm on my way to close a bank account because I forgot about it, and they're charging me like $12 a month to keep open a bank account that I don't use. Part of auditing your finances, making sure you're in a good financial situation, and yeah, part of that is ensuring that every account you have is worthwhile. Last night I went live to just explaining that banks are here to make a profit. They are not a charity. So these fees and everything like that they have are pure profit for them, because they're not doing, I mean, you're not benefiting from them holding your money for you. So I wasted about over $100 just by having this account open, just by having a checking account. Now, I did open it originally because they gave me a bonus. If you have the a City American airline card, and you open that credit card, then you open a bank account. What they did last year was they had a bonus where if you open up your City bank account, checking account, I mean, and deposited like $1,000 in 60 days, they would give you 75,000 American airline miles. So of course I opened up the bank account. I mean, 75,000 miles, that's like a $750 ticket at minimum. So of course I opened up the bank account, got my miles, and then I just stopped using the bank account. Whole time it's still charging me $12 a month. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I paying $12 a month for this bank account? I don't need this bank account no more. It's been open for 6 months, so it's too late for them to snatch back the bonus that they gave me. So I don't need to keep wasting $12 a month on this bank account. Now, other bank accounts, and I think this one too, they may have ways to waive the fee. It may include like direct deposit or keeping a daily balance or something. But to be honest, Citibank isn't one of my main banks at all. And from what I see, their credit cards are amazing on the personal side, but when it comes to the business side, they don't really have a lot for small businesses. A lot of their products and a lot of the benefits that they offer really cater to larger corporations. Because on the business side, the only two business credit cards they have is an American airline credit card and the City Business Costco card. That's all they have on the business side, and neither one of those are 0%, and both of them have an annual fee associated with them. Now the Costco card is kind of cool because you can still get cash back at the end of the year. I think the first year that you have the card, they'll issue you a check of 2x in cash back of what you spent at Costco. I think that's how that works. But besides those two cards, there's really nothing else there. And they're one of the largest banks, right? They're like the fourth or fifth largest bank in the country, and they're super conservative. So they always want a bunch of docs for everything, whether it's a loan or line of credit. So it's like, it's not really worth me paying to keep a bank account with them. And I just got a notice that the price of the bank account is going to go up. It's going to go from $12 to $15. I definitely don't want to pay $15 for a bank account. Part of auditing your banks and creating your own ecosystem is looking at all these fees. People don't talk about the fees. They just say, oh, go get the bag, open up this bank account. You know, they have this credit card, this line of credit, that line of credit. Not every play is meant for you to run. Not every bank is for you. The bank may not be in the area. The bank may require too many docs. The loan or the line of credit may have too many fees, and you don't want those fees. The interest rate may be crazy. And all of this is important to understand, because all of these fees, these interest rates, will eat into your profitability. Now, if you're somebody who is like, oh, I'm just doing this, I don't even care because I'm never going to pay the bank back, then you don't need to listen to me. This isn't a conversation you need to worry about. But if you are a real business person and you do plan on creating real banking relationships for the long term, doing real business, these fees and interest rates matter a whole lot. You got to make sure that you're auditing your banks and just take a look. Like, do I really need to be paying $15 a month for this bank account? Is this bank account giving me any interest? So what I'm doing, I'm going to close this account, and because I haven't even put money in it in like 6 months. So I wasted, like I said, over the course of the year, I wasted like almost $110 on this bank account. For what? Nothing. Um, Now, if it was one of my home banks, the bank I use all the time, then of course, it wouldn't be that bad. But it's not. All of my home banks, they're banks that either, yeah, they don't, I can get the fees waived because I use it all the time. The bank is convenient to me, right? Or they don't have any fees on the account and they pay me interest. I highly encourage everybody, get bank accounts that pay you interest and do not have fees. You may be like, well, Jamal, what banks have that? And look into traditional banks and digital banks. Some banks that I know for a fact because I use them, DCU, Digital Credit Union, they have checking accounts that have no fees and it pays you interest. The interest rate fluctuates. When I first opened the account, their personal checking account gave me 0.75%. I think right now it's like 0.5, it's like half a percentage point. But that's still better than any national bank. A national bank like Citi or Chase, they're giving you 0.01. So going from 0.01 to 0.75 is huge, huge. And the interest accrues monthly with DCU. Another bank that does that is Capital One. People hate Capital One. They don't like their practices, especially their credit cards, because they're more aimed to subprime. So they have a lot of rinky-dink subprime type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Practices, right? But their personal checking account is kind of dope. I mean, it's no fees. They don't charge you for a replacement debit card. And you get like 0.1%, 0.10%. 0.10% is not amazing when we're talking about compare it to 0.75 or half a percent, but it's better than nothing, especially since they're not charging me any fees for it. Now, on the business side, you have a lot of accounts that will charge you fees, but they offer you ways to waive it. So I use Chase. Chase, they have is normally $15, but you can get it waived if you maintain a balance of $2,000 in there. If you have a credit card, which a ink card, and you spend $2,000, or if you have you use their quick pay, which is their payment processor, and you accept $2,000. Yep. Oh yeah, SoFi. I forgot about SoFi. I have SoFi too. Well, I had them. SoFi is dope. SoFi is great, especially if you're chasing bank bonuses. If you're chasing bank bonuses, SoFi is the go-to fintech. And now they've recently got chartered, so now they're more than a fintech, they're a full bank. But they offer you interest. You get no fees and interest on their personal account. You get interest on the savings account. Their credit card is dope because you get 2% cash back, and you could turn that cash back into crypto or stocks. That's one of the few popular cards that allow you to earn 2% and then turn it into straight cash back that goes into your account, crypto, or stocks. In fact, the SoFi card was how I bought my first Bitcoin. I MS'd. If y'all don't know what MS is, it's cool. I made a video about manufactured spending, but I MS'd and I got maybe like $2,000-3,000 in cash back, and I bought Bitcoin with it. So I got free crypto, right? So it's really dope. They also have a lot of great bonuses and referral bonuses. At one point, before they switched it up, you could earn $10,000 just in referrals from referral fees. So if you're a person of influence, get you a SoFi account and send that invitation out to everybody, because you can earn, they'll give you up to $10,000 in referral bonuses. Crazy. That's a part-time job for a lot of people. So auditing your banks, making sure that your banking relationships fit your needs. That's vitally important. I can't stress that enough. Make sure your banks fit your needs. Make sure it's convenient. Can you get to it? If we're talking about moving money around, how long does it take them to process a payment? How long does it take them to process an ACH or a transfer? Not every bank has Zelle. Like, I have a credit union. They're not the greatest credit union because they're slow. They're really slow. But they have amazing interest rates. And I've been with them since I was like freaking 18 years old. So I stick with them. They have great interest rates. I got a line of credit with them. I got an auto loan, a credit card. And the reason I keep them is because all of their accounts are free. Their personal line of credit doesn't charge me. There's no annual fee for it. There's no closing costs for it. There's no fees on their business line of credit. Their credit card, now this credit card is old. It's before I knew everything about cash back and all that good stuff. So the credit card that I have is the gold card. There's no rewards, but I can liquidate it with no fees. So it's a super easy card to liquidate. I can literally log on to my portal and just transfer the money from my credit card right into my checking account, just like I'm doing any other type of regular transfer of funds. There are no cash advance fees. There's no penalty APR from transferring money from my credit card directly into my bank account. So I can literally just give myself a loan at any given time without worrying about any additional fees. And when I do that with the cash advance, most cash advances will start accruing interest immediately, day by day. They don't. So for that reason, I deal with the slowness of their processing, because they have a lot of other benefits that outweigh how slowly they can move money, right? It typically takes a full 3 days for them to actually do a transfer. That part is annoying, but I've worked out some ways to get around it. So it's a lot of these type of things you want to take into consideration when you're thinking about building out your banking relationships, because there will be times where you need to move some money really fast. So you want to be cognizant of that and be aware, okay, what bank is going to process and cash this check and make my funds available the fastest. So I've had different bank accounts, and every bank can be different. Some, you deposit a check, a portion of the check is going to be available immediately, and then the rest of the check will be available the next day. Chase is like that. If you have to deposit checks at like the ATM or something like that, they'll give you a portion of it, maybe like $500 minimum, available right then and there. Then the rest will post the next day when the check clears. Other banks I've had, like TD Bank, it took a whole 2 days for a check that I deposited into the ATM to clear. That can make or break you. If you got to pay rent, or you got to pay a vendor, or you trying to close a deal, waiting 2 days for a check to clear can cost you a lot. It can cost you the whole deal. It can cost you be late on your rent or your mortgage or what have you, right? So you want to be able to analyze these type of things and ask these type of questions when you're thinking about the banks. It's more than simply, oh, what, you know, is more than just how much money can you get through a credit card? How much money can you get through the business line of credit, right? Or a personal line of credit, right? There's a lot more to consider. What are their fees? Do they have interest rates? You can save a lot of money if you simply transfer all your money or put your money into banks that don't charge you fees. If you can literally save, like I said, this one bank account is charging me $12 a month. That's $144 a year. I got like 8 bank accounts. If I was paying $12 per bank account, that's 144 times 8. What was that, $1,000 or something like that? Yeah, it's almost $1,000 a year just in bank account fees. If you're in a position where you need to audit your banks all the time to make sure that they're worth your while. And if you feel like if you're in a situation, because this is happening with a lot of people, with the economy, it's a recession. We need to cut down on all the fees that we can cut down on and start looking into banks like SoFi, Capital One, our credit unions, our fintechs, right? Our other fintech banks that have free bank accounts that earn us interest. That way we can flip it. Instead of us paying $12 a month, we can be earning $12 a month just from our money sitting there. DCU has a savings account. It gives you 6% up to the first $1,000. That doesn't sound like a lot. I get it. But hey, you could just put $1,000 there and you'll gain $60 a year. Doesn't sound like a lot. But there are more than one banks. There are multiple banks that give you 5 to 6% in the savings account. And this is a regular savings account. It's not a CD account. You don't have to lock the money up. DCU goes up to 6.15. Another one off the top of my head is Blue Federal Credit Union. They have a savings account that's 5%. So between those two, we're talking about earning, you're earning what? Like $100-something a year passively. We talk about building passive income. And a savings account with 5 or 6% can definitely, I would consider it passive income because the money is growing without me doing anything. And 5 to 6%, that's great. That's great. Because what? The S&P 500 is 8 to 12%. If you don't like investing or you're scared, okay, half of it, 5 to 6, is cool. It's better than paying. It's better than paying $12 a month, $15 a month, $35 a month just for the bank to hold your money. Like I hate bank fees. I hate them. I do not like them at all. The bank needs to have some amazing benefits for me to stick with them and pay their fees. They need to have some amazing banking products. They need to be ridiculously convenient. Like I need to be able to throw a pin and see my bank. Their app needs to be amazing. Like I will say Bank of America's banking app is dope as fuck. Like they have a budgeting section. They have a budgeting section of their app. It's fucking amazing. I mean, you could break down your budgeting goals. They give you a pie chart. That's how I found out I was spending like damn near $800 a month eating out. And I was like, what the fuck? I immediately had to make changes for that. For real. Keep track of your bank. It's more than just how much money you can get from them. Think about how they benefit you, how you want to use them, what do you want to use them for? And search for banks that do not have fees. Search for banks that will give you interest on your money in your checking account, whether it's the personal checking account or on a business checking account. It's a lot easier to find it on the personal side. Most business checking accounts that earn interest, they do come with some kind of monthly fee, and they typically want you to keep a large amount of money in there. 10, sometimes it's like a minimum of 10,000, 25,000 in order to earn that interest. All right. So I'm about to walk in here. I'm about to close this account because I just realized they've been getting me for $12. So I'm about to head out. Thanks everybody for tapping in. Magic, super fire with the SoFi play. Absolutely. Everybody hop and get that if you can. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Chop was good. In the meantime, I'll hop on here later. Later, we're going to be going through a couple of banks, going back, talking about funding. And I'll see y'all in a couple of hours, all right? In the meantime, in between time, like, comment, subscribe. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.